I know for me, my birthday, I've had to let it go because I'm always disappointed on my birthday.
Really?
Always. Because I always am very clear. I'm like, this is what I want to do. And then I want an element of surprise. And nobody
I understand
brings it. Nobody brings it the way that I feel like I bring it to other people the way. But then what I've decided is just because I'm disappointed doesn't mean I'm going to stop doing for others. I'm still going to make their light shine, you know?
Sure.
And I have to be clear. And every year, you know, my husband, bless him, the first year of us being together.
Bless him.
Oh God. The first year of us being together, I know this sounds petty, but I'm just used to, you know, if you're going to give me a present and put it in a bag, go to the 99-cent store. It's fine. It's not about money, but put tissue paper in the bag. This sweet man puts the present in the bag with and I'm like, oh, okay. And I think it might have been a Vaughn's bag, a grocery bag. I wasn't sure what it was, but it's that element of extra.
Right.
And I need that. And so I got disappointed, but
Right.
he's learned over time. He's been great. Now there's cards in the morning and stuff like that.
You trained well.
Well, if I tell him I trained, he'll freak out. But no,
Yeah, men don't like to do that.
I've communicated that well.
Yes.
I've also had to, and we talk about this a lot, is
Communicated
because
well. Yes, exactly.
the communication is not walling out. It's not it's not crying and being so upset and going, did he try his best? And that's part of disappointment, is looking at the other person and going, did they try their best? Did they do the best that they know how? Even though I was specific, why is this not blending? How can I communicate that to them?
Absolutely.
What's
You
my
cannot blame somebody for the
responsibility?
information that they do not know or have.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just didn't know.
Yeah. And if I come all aggressive and be like, what is this? It doesn't encourage you to want to do more for a person.
No.
You know, so
Comes across ungrateful.
exactly. And but one thing, let's debate this.
Yeah.
I can be ungrateful sometimes.
Sure.
Because I'm so clear about what I've asked for, that if you don't even come close to the mark, I'm allowed to feel disappointed. It's not ungrateful, but I can come off that way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because you at least want them to show some effort.
like a little bit.
Yeah. And if you
Listen
don't
to
see
me.
any effort, then you're showing some toot about the whole thing.
And I
get
seem
that.
ungrateful.
I get that.
But I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
And I'm allowed to be because I was so clear with you about what I needed.
Right.
I just needed a
Right.
iota.
Right.
Iota? Iota.
Iota. Yeah.
Iota.
Yeah.
Iota. I needed an iota of what I asked for.
Right.
But then people are like, oh, you're just ungrateful. And I'm like,
Or
but
just
you
so
didn't-
needy or
you
high
didn't even-
maintenance.
yeah.
I hate that. It's
High
no,
maintenance,
you're
no.
being communicative and you're being really clear.
Mm-hmm.
And people sometimes aren't used to that and they don't like it.
They want to give you what they want to give you.
Yeah, and that's a whole different other thing.
And okay, we'll do another bless her heart. Bless my mother too. I love her. But I tell her sometimes, we're very different. If you
Right.
guys don't know, she's little, she's blonde, she's so cute. She loves her roses, her red lipstick, and adorable.
Yes.
But I would have to say to her, go in a store and get the thing you hate the most, like the dress you don't like the most, and buy it for me, because I'll probably like it, because her taste is so different than mine.
Right.
Because she'll buy me things that she likes, which
For
is
herself.
really sweet.
Shopping for
because she
herself.
wants to
Yeah.
see it on me because she thinks it looks so pretty, but it ain't my taste. And then I come off ungrateful.
Right.
We have this thing at Christmas that if you don't like the gift, you just smile and you just go, Merry Christmas. Because we get too real in the Ferrigno household. Louis will be like, I told you, this is exactly what I wanted. So now what we do is literally we send a list and we're just like, pick it, wrap it, and we're good. Like, I don't even need it.
But that's when you know you're a grown child.
Right?
Because
And then
it's
there's
like,
no
what do you want?
disappointment, hopefully.
Yeah, no, fully.
So preparing yourself for
And nobody
that.
wants to waste money on something nobody wants.
Yeah. And then lying and sitting there and being like, I love it. Are you
yeah.
good at that? I
Yeah.
feel like you're not fake like that. I feel like you try
Well,
to
no,
be grateful,
because
but-
I'm clear at this point and be like, you know what I like. This
Yeah.
is for you. So why don't I just give it to you?
Right.
That whole bit. No, my mom's actually been really good about that. My mom knows how to shop for me. For sure. Like
she gives
she's
me
a
her
great
clothes,
gift.
too. I
she's
love
a
her.
great gift giver. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
She's like, you got this? I'm like, yes. She's got good taste.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's good.
But I know exactly what you mean because my stepdad was kind of that way, where he would get things that he thinks you should have.
You're
and
"But
it's
I
like-
don't want it.
But that's not
Yeah.
all right. But that's a gift for you then, not for me.
Right.
And then sometimes like I just want stuff, but it just kind of goes under par from somebody. You know what I mean? Like say, I know in many cases, like my aunt.
Bless her.
No, I love my aunt. She has great taste. She does, and
awesome.
she would just love it if her husband would give her like, some beautiful diamond earrings or whatever. They're older, and so you want
They're
certain nice
established.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But my uncle will always just give, like, and bless him because he thinks
everybody up in
because
here.
it's a matter of just the thought, right, in his mind, because that's what he's also one of those men who thinks jeans still cost only $20, which is not real, which that doesn't matter what age you are. Boys always think jeans should only so he'll get her something really basic and just,
Yeah.
something
She's like,
"That's basic,
not
some
what I
like,"
wanted.
and she's like, and she wants to say thank you, and yes, it's nice, and she does, but now she's always this much. So now she learns, like, oh, I'm the one that's going to have to buy myself the diamond earrings that I want. I'm the one that's going to have to buy the purse that is nice that I want, not, the flea market cool find that was for $15 because that was the thought. And how neat is that? It's colorful.
Right.
And it was just like, honey, have you ever seen me wear this?
Right. I think we've talked about this in the past. Maybe we haven't, but this can be another
I think that's
topic.
universal for all women, by the way.
Yeah.
It's so strange.
Yeah. I also think it's like the movies and the fairy tales
Yes.
and what we're taught as little girls and Cinderella and just like them surprising us. But a lot of men are not, they're great at some things, but maybe they're not great at buying you what you want and like picking out the purse. So that's where you can not have so much disappointment that I found.
Sure.
I'll buy it for myself. You
Right.
know what I mean? As
Right.
opposed to starting a fight and he doesn't even know where to start to begin with. And he wants, because it should come from the heart if they want to give you a gift.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's no, and that's where, like my aunt, we can joke about it, but at the
Yeah.
end of the day, she goes, no, my husband loves me. I know that, but
Right.
this is just how he sees it.
Yeah.
This is what he's learned and done for our entire lives together. And so therefore, these are my presents for my husband. And I know that.
Yeah.
So if I want certain things, I just do it for myself and
Yeah.
I save the disappointment for later. That
Smart.
was her
That's
way
smart.
of getting past that.
Yes.
And moving
Smart.
forward. You know what I mean? And gift giving is not necessarily as deep as some other disappointments, some life things or whatever, but it is a commonality with socialization and couples and things like that. And so that's one way where disappointment comes into play in life in many ways. You know what I mean? Or another way is, hey, you wanted that job and you didn't get it. Your coworker got it.
Yeah.
Or you applied for that job and you didn't get it. They hired somebody else.
Right.
I understand that. I mean, just like auditioning for actors, they have to deal with 100 no's before they get a yes. And even that yes is like okay.
Yeah. Well, that goes to my fourth point of what we talk about. Just because the outcome didn't go the way that you want it to doesn't mean that it's not what could be great at the end of the day. So,
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So there's so many, that's why you can't just look at it, losing that job offer and all that. You could just need to go back to the mindset, pivot it, not stay in that dark circle.
Right. And don't wallow.
Exactly.
And be so rigid and stubborn and stick to what, no, it's supposed to be like this. It's like, well, this is what happened. So now what do I do? How do I make this work?
Keep moving through it.
And that's really the thinking process. You just kind of have to, how do I make this work? How do I handle this? What do I say? What do I do now? And, if you don't know, especially when you're just, learning about it and trying to figure it out, that's like, as a kid, you run to your parents to ask them, and hopefully your parents know how to when they tell you how, or when you're older, you run to your friends, and you get older, then you run to your other friends or older people that you look to for advice, or, stuff like that. But that's how I learned how to deal with disappointment.
Yeah.
And it sucks. It never is nice or feels good. It's just part of how you living. Yeah.
Well, it helped me, disappointment. I think life's about creating yourself. So how many times did I date a man that really disappointed me? And I was like, I had to look at myself and say, who am I choosing?
Yeah.
So I don't go and get myself involved for the rest of my life with a man that's disappointing me.
Yeah.
Now I look for the red flags.
And that took some time for her to do that. And then
a
when
lot
she
of
finally
pain
did,
along the way.
Yes.
But this is
And we were there
life.
for you, girl.
I always. But it was a lot of learning. However, I I don't regret any of it. I don't take any of it back. Did I necessarily? Sometimes I was a cutter. I was like, okay, do I really like stop cutting? Like, why again? But once you get it, you know, but disappointment doesn't have to be all bad. So just because the outcome in that moment, it won't last forever. But I feel like people just go in this downward spiral. And that's why movement is so important. Keep talking to friends, keep moving your body.